Hello student. Now today we are going to start with the next lesson of the standard 11 subject English, entitled as On to the Summit We Reach the Top. Lesson number 1.2. So let us begin. On to the summit, let me clear the meaning first of all. The summit, it means the highest top of the peak, and we reach the top. Here what the title says. So by the title you might have guessed that it is about reaching high, that is high altitude. That means it is definitely it's about the reaching high or ascending the mountains, or about the mountaineering. So you got a clue by the title. So discuss with your partner and complete the web of different activities related to the climbing. Now here we have the icebreakers. Okay, in the last lecture I explained the meaning of icebreaker. That means it is just an activity, warming up activity to speak first and to start the discussion. So here we are going to discuss with the partner, that means I am going to help you out for this to complete the web different activities related to the climbing. So what can be the activities related to the climbing? Here examples are giving. It is climbing related to the rappelling, then rock climbing. When we can add further, you can note in your textbook that horse trekking, hot air ballooning, then parachuting, paragliding, mountain hiking or trekking, caving, mountaineering, hill walking, scuba diving, skiing, canyoning, waterfall rappelling, glacier climbing, bouldering, ice climbing, and so on. So many activities you can try. Okay, so you can just add these titles in your textbook. Number 2, there are certain prerequisites for mountaineering. Here the meaning of prerequisites, that means to do before, the things which we require to do before the mountaineering. With reference to the following points, develop a short dialogue between you and your friend about mountaineering. So let us continue with the second number question. There are certain prerequisites for mountaineering. Okay, so there are few points are given. With the help of these points, we are going to prepare short dialogue between you and your friend. Let us suppose about you. Okay, I am just taking one pseudonyms. Dialogue between Rahul and Tushar. And the points are time, distance, equipment, mental and physical fitness, clothes, and training. So these are the things which we came across while mountaineering. So what are the importance of these things? So just one, I'm just giving one sample here. Just let's listen it attentively. Tushar says, "Hi Rahul, how are you?" Rahul, "Hello, I'm fine Tushar. Do you know about mountaineering?" Tushar, "Yes, I collected some information about it from internet." Rahul, "I too got some information from newspaper and books." Tushar, good mountaineering is not an easy task. It needs a lot of time to become expert." Rahul, "Yeah, the distance is also important. Initially we can't cover too much distance on mountains because we don't have its habit." Tushar, for mountaineering, few things like rope, axe, water, tumbler, sleeping bag, striving, oxygen cylinder, food packets, medicines, etc. are essential. Rahul, there is a need of proper training for security of the mountaineering. We also have to decide in which season we should go for climbing. Yeah, it's true. We need to take proper clothes for the mountaineering. Our clothes should help us in the climbing. They should not be too loose. They should not become a problem during our journey. Rahul, mountaineering is also the test of mental and physical fitness. We should pay attention on it also. So here is a little bit a piece of information for you. Now let us turn towards the next. Discuss with your partner the various hazards and risks that a mountaineering trekker has to face in an expedition. So what threats are there? Okay, what are the hazards? What are the dangers that you need to face during the mountaineering? So there is a dialogue that we are going to do. hazards and risks that a mountaineering or trekkers has to face. There are various answers. For an example, face snow and stormy wind. Then to keep safe from falling rocks, falling ice and boulders. We need to get protection from this. Protect from high altitude sickness. To carry wounds caused due to sliding or falling down. To avoid snow bite during stay or journey. Unable to keep in touch with base camp to gain help. Lose the right path and trap in unknown place. Keep the body safe from insects, reptiles and other wild creatures. Survive in insufficient or low oxygen area. Tolerate hunger and remain thirsty in critical situation. Sunburn, dehydration, correlation in using rope, problem of companion's injury, tiredness and so on. So these are the points. With the help of these points, it will be better for you to understand the lesson very properly. Now this is the beginning warming up activity, just to make you familiar with what problems we came across during mountaineering. So based on this, here we have the lesson On to the Summit We Reach the Top, written by Tenzing Norgay. See the figure of the particular person. 29 May 1940, 9 May 1986, the lifespan. Is known by birth as Namgyal Wangdi and often referred to as Sherpa Tenzing. He was a Nepali Indian Sherpa mountaineering. He is a Nepali Indian Sherpa mountaineer. He was one of the first two individuals known to reach the summit of Mount Everest, which he accomplished with Edmund Hillary on 29th May 1953. So along with him, Edmund Hillary also went. These two, they conquered the victory over the Mount Everest, which is the highest peak in the world, 29th May 1953. Now see what honor he has received. Honor, then medal, honored by and for the Tiger Medal 1938 by Himalayan Club for third Everest expedition. Second, Star of Nepal, also given to him 1953 by King Tribhuvan, all accomplishments. Number 3, Padam Bhushan. He was also awarded with the Padam Bhushan in 1959, Government of India, for all his accomplishments. Now Tenzing describes the climb to the top, and all event occurred during the historical climb. The article also describes what brought him to climbing mountains. Okay, so this is the beginning information about him. Let us begin with the actual lesson. So students, here we are going to begin with the lesson On to the Summit We Reach the Top. Now, very beginning you can see the picture of these two heroes, those who conquered or accomplished the Mount Everest very successfully, Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay. So these are the two which did this achievement in 29th May 1953. So let us start. When we left camp 9 on Friday morning, I was determined to get to the top on this day. That morning I remember thinking I was to get to the top even if I die. I was not afraid to die that day. We set out early and all the way from camp 9 to the peak we alternated. So here in the first para what is said, they were the base camp and now they left camp 9 o'clock Friday in the morning, and they had decided that whatever it may be, they had to reach to the top today at any cost. Even he was so much determined, he said even he dies, he has to reach anyhow. So here is autobiography. My story: I was the first to conquer Everest. Meet the Edmund Hillary. Here is the picture of Edmund Hillary and his autobiography, just for your extra information. So you can see the red color line, okay, which indicate the top peak and the way to reach the Mount Everest. Let us continue. I would take the lead and then Hillary. First I will take the lead, then Hillary. The man who follows when climbing has a difficult job both in climbing up and climbing down. So climbing up and climbing down both are the hazardous task. In both requires very high skills. So he is anchor. The anchor means that the person who is the major supporter, okay, who provides you the support. The man going in the lead cuts and steps the brakes and ways. The person who is going to take a lead to show the roads, to cut the steps and to break the ways, ice ways, and to make it easy for them. In my pocket I had 4 flags. When we were still at Camp 4, Colonel Hunt gave me 3 flags, those of Britain, the United Nations and Nepal. He charged me with the duty of planting them on the top of the world. So remember the 3 flags of the 3 nations, Britain, United Nations and the Nepal. Here is the highest peak, Mount Everest, and there is very narrow place to reach at the top. You can see it is too much sliding and too much risky and dangerous. And here is the picture of Colonel Hunt. He gave him the 3 flags, Britain, United Nations and Nepal, and he has given the duty of planting them on the top of the world. These 3 flags are in your care, he said. When you and Hillary reach the top, put them at the peak. I am sure that you and Hillary are going to do this. Definitely he is very much sure about them and he trusts them that they both will do this thing. I told Colonel Hunt that I was carrying the Indian flag with me and I would like to be on the top with the other flags. I had to ask Colonel Hunt's permission in his capacity as a leader of the expedition. That this person was the main leader of the expedition. You can see the information which is given here. Colonel John Hunt above. He led the first successful expedition up the Mount Everest. So this is the and being the head of the mission, that he felt the need to take permission of the carrying the flags with him. Indian flag? Colonel Hunt said, by all means I am glad to know that you brought an Indian flag. He is happy that he has brought the Indian flag. Colonel Hunt said to these guys, Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary. After 1 hour of steady going, we cut across from the south face and started up the west side, where we had to pass up the steep line of rocks. That we cut across from the south face and started up the west side, where we had to pass up the steep line of rocks. This is the steep line of the rocks you can see in picture. This was the slow and difficult. Once we had cleared this, there was nothing barring our way to top but a snow-covered incline, sloping less and less as it neared the top. That means as you go to the near at the top, there is a very sloping place, and it gets very much sloping is less and less it becomes. It is very slippery one, so much risky one. These last 60 or 70 feet up the top were not very dangerous, but we kept up the same steady pace. By maintaining the steady pace and the speed, they just keep on moving ahead, and we reached the small flattened summit almost together. Here I just wanted to show you the route, old route and new route to the Mount Everest. The old route which is shown in a red color and the new one with the blue color. You can able to see the camp number as well, and the base camp 5270 meters. Then Khumbu Ice Fall, Camp 1, Camp 2, Camp 3, Camp 4 and the summit 8850 meter. So just for the sake of information. During the last 50 feet from the peak, Hillary and I were moving about 20 feet apart. We were tied together with a rope. Most of the time, the rope was loose, but when we went over a dangerous ground, we drew it out. This rope was a symbol. It tied us together. One could not move without other. We were not two individuals but a team. I have been asked many times who was first. When we were within the reach of summit, I did not think of who was going to be first. I am sure that Hillary was not thinking that. Climbing takes all your attentions. You have many more important worries. So they did not think about who is coming first. Just climbing the mountain, that was the first target. What does it matter whether I reach the top first or Hillary? Our main thought was that both of us reach the top. We had to. One could not do it alone. If there had been a difference of 1000 feet between us, then one could make the claim that he was first. But even then, only the man behind him could confirm the distance between the two of them. Here it means the difference of 1000 feet between us, if even though there was a distance between us, but then we could, one of them, they could have a claim that he has reached first or he has reached first. And even the person behind them can claim, he can, as being a witness, he can tell us better way that who is the first. In this manner, the author is telling information. But when we reached Kathmandu, we discovered that a controversy had arisen. Controversy, that means opposite thing. Now we talked it over, Hillary, Colonel Hunt and I. We agreed that all the talk was childish. So we made a pact. Pact means a formal agreement between individuals or parties, and each of us signed it in the office of the Prime Minister of Nepal. Each one signed his own statement. I have a copy of Hillary's statement which I carry in my pocket. It reads, Kathmandu, June 22, 1953. On May 29th, Tenzing Sherpa and I left our high camp on Mount Everest for our attempt on the summit. So in this way, on May 29th, Tenzing Sherpa and I left our high camp on Mount Everest for our attempt on the summit. As we climbed upwards to the south summit, first one and then the other would take a turn at leading. So simultaneously all cannot take a lead, so one by one they were taking lead. We crossed over the south summit and moved along the summit ridge. Ridge is a long and narrow piece of raised land. You can see the raised line, long narrow piece. The black line is called at the summit. It's the ridge. We reached the summit almost together. We embraced each other. Overjoyed at our success. Then I took a photograph of Tenzing holding along the flag of Great Britain, Nepal, the United Nations and India. At last they conquered the Mount Everest. They reached on the top. They embraced each other, overjoyed, and he took the photograph of Tenzing holding along the flags of Great Britain. You can see the flags of Great Britain, Nepal and the United Nations and India. Signed E.P. Hillary. Now there is another paper like this in English, signed by me. Thus, we will not take part in any controversy. As the statement says, Hillary and I embraced when we reached the top. We did, as well as our bulky equipment would let us. That means this is not only victory of our all alone. There were other equipments also help us. Our team spirit also helped us. We togetherly help us together. So therefore, there is no point telling that he reached first or I reached first. We both reached. That is the matter. I remember saying to him, we have done it. But we could not hear. We had our oxygen mask on. My first thought on reaching the top was a sense of gratitude to God. he was very much thankful to the god. That was the very first thought came to his mind. That after having failed 6 times, that earlier they had tried for the 6 times, he had blessed me with fulfillment of this desire I had held so long. So the desire he had held so long, and after failed for the sixth time, at last God had listened to him. I placed on the summit the offerings to God that I had carried with me. The offer to the God, that all things he had carried, he kept it. Now, this is in accord with my religion. Both my wife and I are Buddhist, so it is one of the forms of religion. I could not kneel because of my clothes and equipments, but I offered a silent prayer in my heart. The offerings were biscuits, candy, and little blue pencil. My youngest daughter, Nima, had given me the pencil before I left home. So the name of the daughter is Nima, and she had given the pencil to him. She asked me to put it on the top of the mountain as her offering. So it is on her behalf. It was an ordinary blue pencil, not even a long one, but it was one of her prized possessions, as it was given to her as a prize. So that was the only precious thing with her. She wanted to be placed on the summit. So as I put it down, I pointed it out to Hilary. He gave me a big smile, showing that he understood. Then I got out the flags which I had on a piece of a string about 4 feet long. I fastened one end to my ice axe, and Hilary took picture as I held it up. So he just fastened the Indian flag, and Hilary took the picture of it. As I had to bring my ice axe down with me, I buried one end of the string in the ice on the top and the other in the snow on the slope down below. When we left, they were lying flat against the summit. So this is the ice axe, which is very much useful to crack the ice and to get the proper hold in an ice. I was very thirsty. I took out a water tumbler for a drink. Tumbler, that is a cap of the bottle, but found the water in the metal container had frozen, so I could not quench my thirst. I ate some biscuits and offered some to Hilary. I was wearing a red scarf which my great friend, the Lambert, the leader of the 1952 Swiss expedition. To the left side, the person who looks in a black shirt, the black sweater, is the leader. It's called as Lambert. He had given me a last year. So it was just a year ago on May 28, when we were standing at 28,215 feet, that he gave me a scarf. So I wore it all the way up, red colored scarf, up the mountain from the Darjeeling. As I stood at the top, I remembered him and I felt that he was with me. I felt absolutely fit at the summit. My mind was absolutely clear. I did not feel tired. I felt exhilarated, that is very much happy. It was a very clear sensation. Below, all the hills and mountains looked like gods and goddesses to me. The plains below looked like so many broken pieces of the map. 2 or 3 people could stand there on the roof of the world. If you cut ice, only 2 or 3 person can stand. 20 or 30 feet below the top, there was enough flat square for 2 people. So you can guess how much icy it is. You have to go 20, 30, 50, 100 feet below down just for make space available to stand or 2 or 3 people. Flat square for 2 people to sleep. You could pitch one tent there. The summit is flat on one side and steep on the other. There is snow on the northern side, rocks on the south and east, and snowy rock on to the west. We stayed on the little top a little more than 15 minutes. So we stayed on the top a little more than 15 minutes. So nearly about 15 minutes they were on the Everest. We were lucky that there was no gale, that is there was no strong wind was blowing, or it would have swept us. My next thought was how to get down safely. On the descent from the summit, that is getting down from the summit, I was walking behind Hillary. I was following him and holding the rope tightly, and my determination was to make sure he descended safely. So both they want to descend very safely. I must say that the climb down was more difficult and dangerous than the climb up. So it is very dangerous thing. It is very challenging thing to get down rather than to climb up. If you slip down, you would go into Kangshung Glacier and there would be no trace left of you. Now you can see in the picture the Kangshung Glacier. It is where the steepest one. It is the name of the place. It is between south and north. Of course, it took less time climbing down, but you needed more hoshiar, that is, take a caution. When I reached Camp 9, my first thought was, thank God we have been spared an accident, and if we up to now there have been no accidents, I hope there will be none in future. I had always prayed to God and He had saved me. So he reached very safely at the camp number 9 and he is just giving thanks to the God. So at Camp 9, Hillary and I were in no mood for any talking. We just attended to our own things. We stayed there about half an hour. We boiled some snow to make lemon water and drank it. When we left, we took only our sleeping bags and left everything else behind in the tent. From Camp 9 to Camp 8, where we spent the night, was an easier job. So after returning from the Camp 9, they were not in mood of talking at all. Just they want the water, so they have to heat it by boiling it. So they just boiled it and drank the water. And from 9 camp, they moved to the camp number 8. They spent the night there. Just above Camp 8, where the others could see us, I raised my arm with my thumb. So I raised my arm with my thumbs up. Noise at WG and Love saw us and their faces flushed with joys. So these are the other person with them. Now in this way I was able to tell them of our success. As we got nearer to the camp 8, Love came to meet us and came up about 300 feet with a tea and coffee. So covering the distance of 300 feet, he came with a tea and coffee. And preparing tea and coffee at the Mount Everest in such a cool region is a great challenge. Another 50 feet down, we met Noise, who brought us more tea. This tea smelled kerosene. Apparently, it had been made in a hurry, and somehow some kerosene got into the welcome cup. So being made in hurry, some kerosene had got into the cup of tea, so therefore it smelled like a kerosene. But I thought, since the gentleman had taken so much trouble to bring it, I was going to enjoy it, whatever the smell is. So it was brought, it was made in such a difficult condition, so author decides to enjoy it and have it. So in this way, this is the lesson, this is the story of adventure. of Sherpa Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary. So in this way the story ends here.